and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. In this episode, we're going to be speaking about the Lioness and Manchester City player, Darren Hemp. Before we do that, I've got to ask you to do something for me. And that is, wherever you listen to the podcast, hit that follow button. It might be a subscribe button, it depends where you listen. But if you're on Amazon Music, Spotify or Apple, there will be either a subscribe button or a follow button for you to hit. Now, this very clever piece of software on my computer tells me that only 5% of the people who listen to the podcast are actually following it, which means you're not getting notifications for new episodes and not finding out other things about the podcast as they're updated. So, have a quick look. It'll either be a plus or a button which says follow or subscribe, and make sure you hit it. Now, before we get into this episode, I wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who has been leaving an Apple Podcast review recently, and I'm going to read a couple of them out. The first one is from Felix 9.1, who gives the podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcast. It says, "This is a great pod, and I recommend it to anyone who likes football. I support the mighty Gunners Arsenal. They are 4th in the league, and my favourite player, even though I support Arsenal, is Lewandowski. But my favourite Arsenal player is Saka. I really like the pod on him." Well, Felix 9.1, thank you very much for taking the time to do an Apple Podcast review. That is very much appreciated, and you don't know how much it helps when you guys give the podcast 5 stars on Spotify and Apple and leave a review. The next one is from HGYGUTFUYUFTWSEJH, and it just keeps on going and going. And they've said, "So good, 5 stars. Hi Darren, this is so good. Please do a podcast on James Maddison. And please, can you give a shout out for my friends at Dunbar United Football Club?" So a massive shout out to you, whoever that is, who gave the podcast 5 stars. And a massive shout out to Dunbar United Football Club. Now, if you want to shout out for your football team, your teammates, your coaches, or whoever it is, you can ask an adult to send an email to footballforkidspodcast@gmail.com or write a review on Apple Podcasts, and I may well read it out. Now then, let's get into this episode about the truly magnificent Darren Hemp. Darren May Hemp was born in Norfolk on the 7th of August in the year 2000. Darren went to Milford Primary School and North Walsham High School. Darren took to football at a young age, and when she was at school, she played for both the boys' team and the girls' team. The girls' team were exceptional, and they went on to win the county championships. So Darren has been playing a very good standard of football for quite some time. Darren's youth career started at the well-established Norwich City, which was the same club that her sister Amy played at. Darren's sister Amy had to cut her footballing career short, as from a young age she got quite badly injured. Darren was football mad, and when she was playing for Norwich, she also played for a boys' team. She just enjoyed playing football, whenever she could, wherever she could. At age 15 years old, Darren got called up to play for her country and represented England in the under-15 squad. All footballers dream of playing for their country, and Darren had already achieved it. By the time Darren was 16 years old, her many years in the youth system had made her quite the player. She was fast, skillful, determined, and had an amazing passion for the game. At 16, Darren joined Bristol City as a senior player and immediately started to show how valuable she was to the team. In her debut for the squad, she scored a goal in a 4-1 win over Watford. In her first FA Cup game for the team, she went on to score 2 goals in a 5-0 win over Millwall. And then she went on to win the Young Woman Player of the Year. In 2017, at around 17 years old, Lauren achieved further amazing things when she played for the England Under-17s at the UEFA Under-17s Championship, and she was the captain of the squad. Lauren was on fire, and her career was going from strength to strength. At around 18 years old, Lauren signed for Manchester City, and in the same season that she joined the team, she went on to win the Continental Cup with them. And then, in the following season, she was playing in the final of the FA Cup, where she scored a cracker and went on to lift the trophy with her teammates. Lauren still plays for Manchester City today and has had a successful career with them so far. In the 2021-22 season, Lauren was the 4th top goalscorer in the whole of the league. She went on to score the club's 700th goal, and in 2022, she won the Women's Young Player of the Year for a 4th time. So it's fair to say, things haven't been going too badly for Lauren Hemp. Although Lauren has been doing some wonderful things for the clubs which she's played for, where she's really come to the public's attention has been through her incredible performances for the Lionesses over the most recent years. In the year 2020, Lauren was named as one of the top 10 most promising young players on the planet. Not in the country, but across the whole world. That is quite amazing. She was a part of the historic game when England's Lionesses beat Latvia a staggering 20-0. 4 of those goals were thanks to the fantastic Lauren Hemp. And on the lead up to the 2022 Euros, Lauren was named in the squad and played in every match of the tournament. England made the final against Germany, and it was 1-1. Until Lauren Hemp swung one of the most perfect corners in, and her teammate Chloe Kelly stuck the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-1 to England. Lauren and the Lionesses won England's first major football trophy since 1966. Not only was Lauren a part of a Euro 2022 winning team, but she's also been a part of another trophy lifting team when England's brilliant Lionesses beat Brazil in the Finalissima at Wembley Stadium. Lauren and her teammates nearly lifted their 3rd trophy when they made it to the 2023 World Cup final in Australia, but they missed out to a brilliant and superb Spanish side. Lauren has scored some of the most magnificent goals in her career, and so many of her brilliant goals have either come from the edge of the box or where she's dribbling past 3 or 4 players before hitting the ball at the most tight angles and putting it away. Lauren is a true talent, a footballing genius and a magnificent player. And at such a young age, she's still got so many magical moments left in her career for us to witness. I hope that you've enjoyed listening and learning about the career and stories so far of the excellent Lauren Hemp. And remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side, I hope that you enjoyed the game. See you next time. Oh, have you hit that follow or that subscribe button yet? If you haven't, make sure you do so. You don't want to miss out on what's coming up on the Football for Kids podcast next.